the leaders of the past, like Ben-Gurion, like Sharet, Golda, Dayan, Sharon, Abba Eban, and others, how would you compare them? And because you know all of them, to the present leaders of Israel.
Ben-Gurion was living just upon one goal: the building of a state, the building of a nation, the building of a destiny. He was a man of total truth. You know, I worked with him, and I was a very young man. I made a lot of mistakes. I knew he will forgive every mistake I shall make but one. If I shall depart from the truth. No compromise. This is the only mistake that wasn't permitted.
But what I really like to know a little further, if you don't mind, the difference in your eyes between today's leaders in Israel and the leaders of the past.
Today, leaders are a little bit victims of the media, of public relations. Maybe they have to, because Ben-Gurion was born before the age of television. And he addressed directly the people. He never thought what impression he will make upon others. He always thought what a message should he deliver to his fellow man, whether it's popular or not. Today, a leader wakes up with the television and goes to night with the internet and reads the papers and during the day. So it came out that television maybe has put an end to dictatorship, but it also made democracy intolerable. Leaders have to spend so much time, you know, to relate to what is being published, because the published truth is overcoming the real truth.
Mr. President, talking about the future, what do you see coming with the Palestinians?
The Palestinians are our brothers. They may have a different language, they may have a different outlook, and they have the right to do so. The only thing they don't have the right, and we don't have the right, is to use violence and killing innocent people. The Lord never gave a permission to anybody to become a killer. Since a man cannot create other people, but his own family, he doesn't have the right to kill other people as well. And I want to tell you, I think peace cannot go with discrimination. We have also enabled the Palestinians to reach the same economic and social level that we have. You know, discrimination is an insult, and poverty is a shame. And people who are insulted or are ashamed don't run to make peace, because peace calls for compromises. So we have to offer an equal opportunity to the enemies of today, the neighbors of tomorrow. We have to provide them with help them to reach a new level of existence, a full level of respect, of mutuality. We have to enable them to keep their land and us to keep our land. We don't want to become their governors, nor their occupiers. It's not our way of thinking. And finally, we shouldn't forget that all of us stem from the same family, the family of Abraham. So if we have one father, why can't we be brothers or sisters?
I fully understand that. We as evangelicals are concerned about Hamas, Hezbollah, but mainly Hamas now that is in Gaza, How do you deal with them?
Hamas is not a political party, and Hamas doesn't carry any message, neither for the Arabs, nor for the Jews, nor for humanity. They took the right to kill, and the purpose is to govern the whole of the Middle East in the name of their sect of religion. They don't want to create another state, nor do they want to make peace with any other state. They want the whole of the Middle East to be under the spell, say, of the Caliphate, of the Iranian government. And they're ready to use every means without discrimination. They feel they have the right to kill a boy or a girl or an old man. There is no way to combine murder and freedom. And I think Hamas is the enemy of the Arabs. I think Hamas is the one that has prevented the creation of a Palestinian state. I think Hamas is endangering many Arab countries. And the Machiavellian thought that goals justify means cannot be part of a religion or a way of a prayer. Means cannot contradict goals. If the means, for example, is murdering or killing.
May I ask, what can Israel do to stop Hamas from expanding their influence, even in Judea, Samaria, and maybe other even parts of the Arab world?
My first inclination is not to turn to force against force. My first inclination is to see if there are other ways and means to stop them. Now, if you are being attacked by mosquitoes, well, you may take a gun and try to shoot every mosquito. It's a waste of time. What you have to do is to dry the swamp so there won't be mosquitoes. The best way to stop them is to stop the financing of Hamas. And it so happened that oil-producing countries, most of them, are not only responsible for polluting our environment, but also for financing terror. And it's becoming more and more of a greater danger, because if those killers will get hold of nuclear devices, the world will become ungovernable. So Hamas is a danger to everybody, as Iran is a danger to everybody, as Hezbollah is a danger to everybody. And in order not just to speak theoretically, Hezbollah killed Lebanon, divided it into two pieces. Hamas prevents the Palestinians from enjoying independence, and Iran is preventing the world to reach a wider and greater understanding for the future.
Sir, I want to talk about Iran.
Yes.
Where do you see this going? Can Iran be truly stopped? Will Israel be forced to attack Iran's facilities or stop them somehow?
Well, let's first of all distinguish between Iran and its leadership. Iran is an old people that has important periods of culture and achievement. I don't feel any hostility toward an Iranian, but unfortunately, a sort of a religious dictatorship took over the country. And they invest in enriched uranium more than for their children. You cannot feed your children with a plate of enriched uranium. Many of them poor, ignored. Yeah. And again, they enjoy the income from oil, which is disproportionate to the value of it. You know, oil is not produced. Oil is discovered. The oil was produced over 1 million years, maybe by the Lord. So you don't need any talent. You need only luck to discover oil. And